This recent situation in Buffalo is troubling. It's troubling what this person did, but it's also troubling how people react to this situation. This person, he kills 3 people. This 8-year-old kills 3 people in Buffalo. He injures 3. He walks into a store, a public place, and he murders people. He's a mass murderer. That's all he is. But people try to sympathize with him and say, that he's had some mental issues. I think I read somewhere where his mom says that he was affected by COVID. All affected by COVID. All of us are affected by COVID. There's no excuses, though. We can't make excuses for this person who goes out and does a mass shooting on Americans, on innocent Americans in a public place where we should be safe. But we make excuses for him. We're sympathizing with this person. This person doesn't deserve our sympathy right now. The sympathy needs to go to the 10 people that died and their families that are affected by it, and the 3 people that were injured. That's where the sympathy goes. The sympathy goes to all the people that are in that store that watch this. We need sympathy for those folks. We need sympathy for all us Americans who are once again experiencing somebody who made up in their mind that the only choice they have is to go out and mass kill people, and then act like he's a hero. Somehow he's a hero. He's doing this country justice by going out and killing a bunch of people, brown people at that. I don't care if he has mental issues. Of course he has mental issues. Anybody who kills another person, who goes and gets a gun and goes anywhere and just shoots people that they don't even know, of course, that's a given. There's something wrong with that person. There's something twisted in that person. But that's not a reason to give him sympathy. It's like we make this situation political. Some people try to make this situation political. It's not a political situation. It's not a Republican, Democrat situation. This guy's a murderer. That's all he is. He's a murderer. He's not just a murderer. He's a mass murderer. He made the decision to go and hunt people and kill them. He's a murderer. I don't care what his reasons are. Like, he made up reasons that he's going after brown people, whatever the reason that he made up in his mind. I don't care about that. It doesn't matter what his reasons are. If somebody's going to kill somebody, of course they're going to make up reasons why they killed somebody. It's not going to be the real reason necessarily, but don't make up reasons. The real reason, the guy's just a murderer. He's a murderer. He would have killed anybody for any reason. If he didn't like people with blonde hair, he would have gone out and killed everybody with blonde hair. If he didn't like women, he would have killed women. If he didn't like people with mustaches, he would have killed people with mustaches. He just made up a reason to do from what he is. He's a murderer. That's all he is. He's just a murderer. Nothing more. Nothing less. He's no hero. We don't need to be divided on what this guy did to other Americans and justify it. There's no justification. I know he killed brown people, but brown people are Americans. He killed Americans. This is one of the reasons why we have prisons for people like this. If there's ever a reason for prison to keep somebody off the street who doesn't deserve the right to be on the street, who can't function in society, this is the reason. This guy will never get out. He's hurt a lot of people. Not only did he hurt the people he killed, but he hurt all their families and friends who know these folks. And all the people that were there, the 3 people that were injured. All of us who witnessed it. Everyone's hurt. But then you have his mother. And I think he has a brother. Family. They're hurt. Everyone's hurt. And they're trying to justify what he did. I hear his family is trying to justify what he did. But justification doesn't mean anything at this point. You can't justify what he did. There's no reasoning There's no logical reasoning. There's no excuse. There's no sides. Murderer, non-murderer. Murderer, innocent people. That's it. The thing about this guy is that what he did, like, he may think he's a hero or may think he had some reason because that's the lie he told himself, but his life is over. His life is over. He will never get out of prison. He will never step out to society. Never. A person that does this to innocent people, he will never see the light of day, ever. His life is over. And the mother who's making excuses for him, talking about COVID and he couldn't take COVID, whatever it is, and other people are making mental issues, it doesn't matter what anybody says. This guy is no longer a son. He no longer has a son-mother relationship. His life is over. She won't hardly ever see him again. He will never get out. All those people who are debating about the mental issues, it doesn't matter what your debate is. It doesn't matter what you say. He killed people. He killed innocent people. He's just a murderer. And regardless of what you say or don't say, he's going to prison. He will never get out. He can't get out. One thing I do find it interesting is that, I'm not sure what the accomplishment is. I get the guy has probably mental issues, like people say. I'm not sure what, some people think that, you do these kind of things and maybe there's just going to be fear within the American community or fear within the brown community. All I can tell you what I see. I don't see people afraid. I don't see people afraid. The only effect that people have is that they mourn for these people that got killed. We mourn for them. They're Americans. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're black, white, brown, whatever. These people are Americans. And Americans, innocent Americans, lost their life by a terrorist, by a killer, a murderer. So we mourn for those folks. We mourn for those folks. We can even mourn for ourselves a little bit because we witnessed it. Here we go again, right? Somebody else goes and murders people. And it's not about, to me, guns or do you have guns or not guns. I'm not interested in that. I don't care. It's about this guy who's a murderer. He's just a murderer. Period. He could have done it with his car. He could have drove and used his car as a murder vehicle if he wanted to. He could have pulled out a knife and killed people. He could have done any of those things. He's a murderer. He would have done any of those things. He could have made a bomb. He's a murderer. So to me, it's not about the gun stuff. This guy's just a murderer. The thing that bothers me is that we're divided making excuses. We got to take a side. There's only one side. And that's the side of the Americans that were hurt that day. They're Americans. We don't need to look at color, non-color. They're Americans. They were killed. That's all I got on that.